Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third episode of Digital Downtime. It's your boy Prince, it's your boy Gilly, it's your boy whatever you want to call me at this point. Because the Grand Theft Auto 6, yes, I did not stutter. I'm not making this shit up. The GTA 6 trailer has officially dropped by Rockstar Games. And it released on December 4th in the evening times, originally scheduled to release December 5th in the morning, but it got leaked. And the leaker couldn't just wait another 12 hours. So Rockstar said, fuck it, we're just going to give you the real thing. So, stay tuned. We're going to talk about it, dissect some details. I'm hyped as fuck. Alright, so GTA 6, if you know anything about me, um, when I first started streaming, I went through the original GTA trilogy on stream. It had a lot of, actually got a decent following to it. You know what I'm saying? People tuned in. A lot of dedicated fans, especially of San Andreas and Vice City. A few for 3 as well. But yeah, when I first started streaming back in 2020, that was kind of the trilogy that kind of helped me jump shot a bit and gain some followings, and how I played them, and et cetera, et cetera. And just even growing up, Grand Theft Auto was a huge part um, of my childhood. Probably games I shouldn't be playing as a child, but hey, we turned out all right. But I played GTA 3, like I said, Vice City, San Andreas, all originally. Then again in 2020, I played Vice City Stories on the PSP back in the day, and Liberty City Stories. Two games I do want to revisit, so make sure to follow the Twitch at twitch.tv/GillyPG. Might be replaying through those one of these days. But and then from there, obviously clearly played GTA 4 as well on the original 360. Played it again on PC in 2021. Played GTA 5 multiple times. Have not done a PC playthrough, but might as well do it now, sometime in 2024. Um, did a lot of GTRP. Like I said, if you know me, you'll know how long I've been doing RP. We did a lot of just RP. And then we're just on Ignite and a few other servers, and Grand Theft Auto 5. A game I adore. I know the map inside out now from all the RP time. So a series that means a lot to me, and a developer that means a lot to me, because I'm a big fan of Rockstar in general. Outside the GTA series, love Red Dead Redemption, love Red Dead Redemption 2. I will argue with anyone saying Red Dead Redemption 2 is by far maybe top 10 video games ever written. I'm not saying it's the best game of all time, but you could make that argument as well. But from just a pure writing standpoint, it might be one of the best games ever. Definitely top 10. The characters in it, from Arthur to John to Micah to Dutch to, just overall pacing and everything that goes on. I know it's a slow burner and that turns people off. And I know Red Dead Redemption is not as popular as Grand Theft Auto 6. Or, sorry. Well, yeah, but it's not as popular as Grand Theft Auto as a series in general. But it's definitely Rockstar's like second flagship series. Absolutely love it. From there, obviously, I love Midnight Club growing up. Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition, bona fide banger. Love LA Noir. I love the Max Payne series. Love Bully. Manhunt was interesting. And, like, see what I mean? Probably just sound like a Rockstar dick rider. But the point is, time in and time again, Rockstar develops quality games. I do miss the era, like that 360 era, PS2 era, where they were pushing out a lot of games aside from just GTA. The Red Dead Redemption got thrown in there. Red Dead Revolver, which is one a lot of people forget about on PS2, also pretty fun. And, they're throwing the Midnight Clubs and the Bullies and the LA Noirs and the Max Paynes, like I said. So here's hoping one day that they might return to that form, but they are focusing on bigger and larger scale projects since GTA 5, because Red Dead Redemption 2 was highly ambitious and delivered on all fronts. So was GTA 5 with the three protagonists. For what it did during that time, absolutely crazy on the fly, switching from one to the another, other stories intermingled, all that good stuff. So, we haven't got anything since Red Dead 2. It's finally here, right? The trailer's finally here. Like I said, it was originally scheduled for December 5th in the morning. It got leaked on social media. Unfortunately, what can you do? And they decided just to drop it officially. They even tweeted about it, saying, "Hey, due to leaks, here's the official one." And make sure you go watch it if you haven't. Super high quality and just a superb trailer. So let's dissect into a little bit of the trailer. What I saw, what got confirmed about earlier details that have been leaked in the past couple of years. Um, so yeah, after moments it got leaked on social media, they officially dropped it. The title is Grand Theft Auto 6. I wouldn't expect it to be any different. Like I said, they used to do, GTA Vice City, GTA San Andreas, etc. But those were like considered in between games between GTA 3 and 4, surprisingly. But they were full, complete games, obviously. Wonderful titles. Vice City and San Andreas are both amazing. San Andreas, to this date, offers so much that I don't even see in present GTA games, which is wild. But yeah, I wasn't surprised that it's just called GTA 6 after this time. They couldn't give it any other moniker. They gotta treat it like a big deal. So it is a numbered title. It's called GTA 6. And it was confirmed that it's coming in 2025. So no 2024 release for GTA 6. Um, there's two parts here. A part of me is not surprised that it's not coming out in 2024 because this game is going to be like a massive event, not just in the gaming world, but just in like the entertainment landscape, across the board from movies, music, whatever. Like this is going to be said to be one of the biggest entertainment releases ever. And it will get consumed super big too. And I forgot the budget on the game, but Rockstar will make a profit because everyone knows GTA, you know what I mean? So part of me is not surprised that it's not releasing in 2024, but also a part of me is kind of shocked because usually Rockstar releases games when they're super ready. Like, they'll show a trailer and they're like, all right, it's coming out in a year. It's coming out in 6 months. That's what they did with GTA 5. That's what they did with Red Dead 2. Usually it's not like they don't show games too preemptively, too in advance. So that's kind of like my two-part feeling about the 2025 release date. But I'm hoping it's early 2025, maybe first quarter 2025, and not fourth quarter 2025. Here's hoping at least, right? But yeah, 2025 release date, and no confirmation of platforms either, which is another interesting discussion because Rockstar always releases their games console first, right? Red Dead Redemption 2 came out later, GTA 5 came out later. Most of their titles is usually console first, PS5 and Series X is what I'm assuming in this case. Unless whatever Nintendo cooks up hardware wise in 2024 can handle it. I doubt it though, because I love Nintendo, but hey, it's Nintendo, right? I doubt it. But I'm thinking it's going to be PS5 Series X release date 2025 with a PC date to follow. But again, this is kind of just like how I had two mixed feelings about the release date. I have two mixed feelings about the platforms of choice because, like I just mentioned, they always do console release only, but with how popular GTA is on PC and how roleplay RP has pushed this game to stay alive for this long and the numbers it's done on streaming platforms, on Twitch, on YouTube, and the clips produced for TikTok views, and just the amount of power it gave to the modders to create these worlds, and these people that own these servers are making, people that own No Pixel are rich, man. Like these people are making a living off it. People who are running medium-sized servers are making a living off this. Even smaller servers, some people are making a living off this, right? Like it's helping people who like have incomes, jobs, etc. So because role play is like such a big part of GTA's identity now and what it does, just not from like the longevity standpoint of keeping the game alive and from a gameplay perspective, keeping things fresh for people and giving people these opportunities to showcase their voice acting skills and even get landing voice acting gigs and all this sort of stuff. Just from an economical ecosystem standpoint, just the amount of money it produces for people and helps them out. I wouldn't be surprised if Rockstar finally decides to release a game day one on PC, with the first title being GTA 6, just simply for the points I listed, just for how important RP is to Grand Theft Auto now as a series. So we will see what happens. There's always going to be a plethora of details coming up in 2024 because, they got to push the game out, they got to show more trailers, they got to show gameplay, they got to show how RP even works. Because if you didn't know, Rockstar bought CFE, whatever they're called, .fx, the people that created 5M, and 5M is the mod you need to find and connect to GTRP servers, if you weren't aware. So because they bought the 5M devs and whatnot, they might just integrate RP themselves, and console players might have a chance to RP now. But then when things become like an official game, well, things become different. How are they gonna facilitate all that? How are they gonna create servers? How are they gonna make sure people are actually role playing and not just doing no value life and random deathmatch and treating it like GT Online deathmatch or whatnot? How are they gonna facilitate all that if they make it official in the game? These are these are details and questions that probably won't be answered for a while. Just have to be patient. But there's just so many thoughts running through my head. So I'm sorry if I'm getting off topic. I know we're supposed to be talking about the trailer specifically. But hey, I'm dedicating this episode to GTA 6, and we're talking about GTA 6. And these are details that are important, whether or not, they're going to be implemented in an official way, and see how Rockstar tackles role play themselves. So interesting to see. But yes, no confirmation of platforms, just a 2025 release date. Now, as mentioned previously, Rockstar said November. The trailer would arrive in early December. But yeah, it got leaked, so they pushed up the release by 12 hours following the leak. Onto the trailer itself now. The trailer gives us a look at the game's female protagonist, which also is a first for the Grand Theft Auto series. So maybe releasing day one on PC will be a first. There could be so many firsts Rockstar can do with this title, just because of the magnitude and the sheer importance of Grand Theft Auto 6. So female protagonist for the first time. Her name is Lucia. She starts off in prison. I think it's like an officer, a psychologist, or someone, a counselor, asking her, how'd you even end up here? And she says, bad luck, I guess, right? So yeah, first time there's gonna be a female protagonist. There's also scenes of her partner or like another male individual, which is, kind of making me wonder, or many people wonder, theorizing that it's gonna be a dual protagonist game. GTA 5 was 3 protagonists. This one might be dual, with Lucia and her man, boyfriend, husband, whoever he is. We didn't get to know much details about him, but obviously that's gonna be in a future trailer. But because they're a couple and it's gonna be a dual protagonist game, I feel like the writing is gonna be very tight, very interwoven, like a very true Bonnie and Clyde, love each other but kind of toxic. But they do, they hit up licks, which was also shown in the trailer, hit up crimes, stuff like that, to kind of like make their means. And her being in prison right off the beginning, kind of just indicates that it's going to be a huge criminal presence. So there's all that. So very excited to see how all that works out, especially after, like I mentioned previously, after witnessing Red Dead Redemption 2's writing and characters and storylines. I'm very excited for like a very focused couple story. It's something that Rockstar really hasn't tackled before, like on a large grand scale. So words can't describe how excited I am for them to tackle it. I think they're gonna nail it at the park, at least from the writing perspective. So I'm very, very excited. The trailer also confirms that it's set in Vice City with a large line that says Vice City. Not a huge surprise for people that have been following the series, but still exciting nonetheless. All the leaks for the past couple of years have been hinting at that it's going to be Vice City, and it kind of just makes sense. We had GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, and then with GTA 4, they went back to Liberty City, akin to GTA 3, and then GTA 5 went back to, Los Santos, akin to GTA San Andreas. So now it made sense. The GTA 6 will go back to Vice City like GTA Vice City, but obviously we're gonna get a modern Vice City. The trailer shows that we're gonna get a modern take on Miami. The trailer shows that, and just like how they had a huge countryside in GTA 5 and showing, what the LA County looks like, what San Andreas looks like. Based on this trailer, it seems like what's gonna be fictional Florida, whatever they end up calling the state. It seems that they're going to be having the countryside as a whole. There's alligators in the trailer. There's like country folk and hillbillies and stuff like that, and like different character groups, which kind of seems like the different gangs. Like you have like the inner city gangs, and you have like the country gangs and whatnot, and families, and it's all shown here. It's all not detailed in little glimpses, but it's all shown. So I'm very excited to see their big overall take on Florida as a state with modernized setting. Whew, very very cool. But yeah, Vice City, and then we get lots and lots of quick shots of crime. Like I said, main protagonist Lucia and her boo. Hit up a convenience store, and there's other acts of violence going on. But another major part of this trailer is we saw glimpses of TikToks and live streams, hinting that social media will also be a big part of this game. You see people like sending out tweets and live streams on TikToks and whatnot, and it makes sense because the modern world is so social media driven, and that's a topic for another time. Hence why the podcast is called Digital Downtime. Detach from the digital world, you motherfuckers. Now and then, go smell some grass. But all jokes aside, very curious to see how the social media plays into things. As your character, can you live stream your crimes you do? Maybe, because it's dual protagonist, maybe one person records the other doing shit. How does it affect your reputation? Are they going to implement those things from the Red Dead, right? Is there going to be an honor system? Is there going to be interaction with every NPC like how you can in Red Dead? Are they going to bring those things over? Or is that going to slow down the nature of the game? Because obviously Red Dead is more slower pace, it's in the Wild West setting. So it makes sense for them to be more interactivity and slow things and attention to detail. But can they pull that off in Grand Theft Auto and still make it, high pace and action focused and exciting? Remains to be seen. But it does indicate to me that with social media being such a focal point, that this interactivity with NPCs and having a rep system, honor system, are things that will be prevalent in this game. And again, very excited to see how all that works. And another major question, and I don't want to even dive too deep into it, but how does this work in the multiplayer side of things, and how does this work for the integrated RP if Rockstar does go that way as well with the whole social media aspect? So many things to think about, many things to dissect. Hey, remember, guys, this trailer is only 90 seconds, minute 30. And I'm dissecting it to this level, so yes, I am very excited, very, very, very. But yeah, I think social media will be integral to the game as well. Um, in the backdrop for the music, we have Tom Petty's "Love Is a Long Road." Great, great, great song choice. Which is appropriate for the many car-related crimes we see, and it's also appropriate for the dual protagonist, kind of Bonnie and Clyde love story. So makes sense why they used the song. And yeah, like I said, there's a big emphasis on the Florida setting. There's alligators in locations where they shouldn't be, very Florida-like, and yeah, there's just a lot going on. Uh, and fans, casual, hardcore, to whatever degree. I've been talking about GTA 6 ever since GTA 5 was released in 2013, and GTA 6 will be on 2025, so it'll be a whole 12 years later between GTA's. Man, that's kind of crazy. 12-year window. They didn't release any spin-offs or smaller GTA's. No expansions for GTA 5, story expansions, like absolutely nothing aside from that dookie ass fucking trilogy remake that we do not talk about. developed by Grove Street Games, whoever those motherfuckers are. Uh, fucking caca shit, man. Holy crap. Aside from that, 12-year gap, so obviously expectations that are all-time high, and I think Rockstar will develop them. You know, and GTA 5 pretty much declared a masterpiece for many review outlets and players alike for what they did with the three protagonists. And I know Spider-Man 2 lately has been getting a lot of praise for being able to switch from Miles to Peter and vice versa so seamlessly. But I like to remind people that Rockstar did that with three protagonists very seamlessly on hardware back on the 360 PS3 days, man. It's quite the feat. It really is. So, and I remember, man, I remember when I first saw the GTA 5 trailer, the very first one, man, and I was just so fucking hyped. And I went to the midnight release at Best Buy to get the game on the 360. My boys and I would play GTA Online all the time. And then I got it again on the PS4. Then I got it again on PC. And like I said, PC, I never really even played through the story, which I think I will do now in 2024 and get, the full 60 FPS plus experience for the story. But, led to RP, and it's just been like I mentioned earlier in the episode, it's just been a long lifeline of love for this series, and it's just grown and grown and grown with each release. Like then RP kind of drew me into that aspect of things. To the longevity of GTA and what it's become today is a beautiful feat for any developer wishes their game can be. Very few games in that category in that sort of spotlight, limelight. So, yeah, very, very awesome. So, but with all that being said, finally got to see it, and man, I'm just sorry. I'm just still trying to process some thoughts as I think about it. Um, but yeah, let's not also forget last year wasn't positive for Rockstar. Also, as huge amount of developmental footage of GTA 6 was leaked in a colossal data breach. And then, eventually authorities arrested that British teenager, right, who was related to the incident or whatnot. So, yeah, crazy, crazy stuff there. Um, but yeah, man, GTA 6, I just can't believe it. So, very, very awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome. But 2025, people are also contemplating if that's the end of the console lifestyle. I don't think so. It might be closer, but it'll be probably similar to like how GTA 5 was released to the end of the 360's PS3 kind of lifestyle. It will it will release perfectly because they'll have the hardware figured out, and then eventually they'll do another definitive edition for if Xbox does make another console and PS6 and whatnot. But yeah, I'm just trying to look at comments and stuff right now and just seeing people's thoughts. This person says it looks incredible after GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. I have plenty of confidence. That's kind of echoing my same opinion as well. Sucks to wait till 2025. Yeah, Rockstar usually doesn't do that, but I think it's just to keep people on their toes and know that it's actually real, it's actually coming. It's just this big myth that's been hyped up as for the past couple of years. Um, but yeah, that's GTA 6. I know in the beginning of the podcast I said that's all we're going to be talking about. That's kind of all I really want to mention about the game at this moment. Because I don't want to like just be sitting here dissect every single detail, but that's kind of my thoughts of the trailer. It kind of just confirms um, the details that were presented for the game a while back, right? Confirmed all the leaked details, Bonnie and Clyde type story in Vice City, embracing more of the countryside and whatnot. Obviously, there's some bigger questions remain if it's going to release on PC day one. What's the release window looking like in 2025? Quarter one, two, three, four. What is it? All that good stuff, but it will come, right? So make sure to stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. In the next segment here, we're going to be talking about Naughty Dog and being the complete opposite of Rockstar, how they've kind of been pretty shitty this PS5 generation. And then, of course, following that, we'll have our weekly Have You Played This segment. And for this week, we're going to be talking about an underrated open world game that may have been overlooked on the PS2 era. Since we're talking about GTA and open world games in general, something I wanted to highlight. So stay tuned. So it was rumored that there was a Last of Us Part 2 remake. I thought to myself, huh? Why would that be needed? And then Naughty Dog and Sony and PlayStation confirmed it. That is indeed coming. It's releasing January 19th, 2024. My question is why? My bigger question is what has Naughty Dog been doing for the PS5 in general? Like, Naughty Dog is a beloved developer of mine, just like how Rockstar is from day one. PS1, they had Crash. PS2, they had Jack and Daxter. PS3, they had Uncharted. And then towards the end of it, Last of Us got introduced. One of my favorite games of all time, OG Last of Us, PS3. PS4, they remastered The Last of Us. Great. We also got Uncharted 4. Phenomenal piece of work. Called Lost Legacy. Phenomenal. Called Last of Us Part 2. You know, maybe not my favorite Naughty Dog game, but from a technical perspective, phenomenal. And then PS5, we got Last of Us Part 1, which was a remake of Last of Us, but they already had Last of Us remastered on PS4. So now Last of Us 1 has been released 3 times. Okay. Everyone's still waiting for Naughty Dog's big next move for the PS5. What are they going to do? Insomniac's doing so many wonderful things for the PS5, pushing it forward. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart and Spider-Man 2 and yada yada yada. They come up with Last of Us Part 2 remastered. You know, not the Last of Us factions, not the separate complete multiplayer game from one of Sony's most beloved first party devs. A multiplayer game that they need, especially Sony's having this more of a live action game focus, which I don't know what's going to yield results wise, but PlayStation does need a wonderful banger exclusive multiplayer game, and I love third person shooters, and I love Gears of War, and I love Fortnite, I love, you know what I mean. I love factions and Last of Us, OG. I love the Uncharted multiplayer. It's super underrated in my opinion. So I'm very well looking forward to this experience, this game. And then early this year, we got reports that the progress on it is halting or it's slowing down, and devs are getting fired off from the project. And I'm like, fuck, what is going on at Naughty Dog, right? And then this news comes and I'm like, what the fuck is really going on? And man, there's like I understand, The Last of Us TV series came out early this year, and I actually thought they did a really wonderful job. Really, really enjoyed it. Like I mentioned in my first episode, with the Game Award nominees and the best adaptation. You know what I'm trying to say. um, I'm a little biased. They recorded most of it here in my wonderful province of Alberta and even Edmonton and whatnot. I thought they did a good job, but I don't think Naughty Dog and PlayStation are essentially utilizing that hype very well because as soon as that show came out, they had The Last of Us Part One remake came out. And PS5 PC. The PC was launched with all these bugs and hiccups that are still not fixed to this date, by the way. And I thought maybe factions, this multiplayer game would come out and it'd be like, oh yeah, the season just finished. Here's factions. People get to experience Last of Us in a new, different way with their friends and multiplayer, and it'd be like this big, big, big PlayStation exclusive on a multiplayer front that Sony needs. That didn't happen, and now we get this, and it just pushed me to think that this isn't that big of a deal. Um, you know what I mean? Like, why is Naughty Dog revisiting The Last of Us when it's already available on the PS5 in a remastered form? Is slightly better graphics really worth the effort? What does it mean that the industry was perpetually looking backwards to its biggest hits with remakes and remasters instead of blazing new trails? Like, why? Why is this the discourse for like one of the most respected AAA developers in the game? right? Like, why are they moving backwards with just like doing their greatest hits of remix to remaster instead of like laying down new ground? You know, should Naughty Dog be really getting all these resources and focus from Sony for such an unnecessary fucking project? When Sony just recently shut down a Japan studio, which games that deviated far from more than AAA norms. What? Why? What's going on? Right? And you know, it's just I don't know. I just don't know how to fucking wrap my head around it. I don't know the perfect words for it, but I just don't get it. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't get it. I really don't get it. Um, you know, it's like what's really going to happen? It's going to be a fairly minor upgrade that improves the graphics, add a small amount of content, not unlike what Kojima Productions did with Death Stranding Director's Cut. It would be different from the game of the year edition the games used to get, which packed all the DLC and whatnot. The Last of Us Part Two never got any major DLC, so there'd be nothing to add on that front either. Um, and then more importantly, all the old arguments about The Last of Us seem extremely unimportant in the face of recent news of 25 Naughty Dog developers getting fired, and like I mentioned earlier, the unnamed multiplayer game, quote unquote factions, is reportedly put on ice, and the closeness of this remaster to the original release is what doesn't sit right for me, and I don't get it. The Last of Us, is Sony's flagship gaming brand at this point. Turned into an HBO series, like I said, scored a bunch of Emmy nominations. Naughty Dog and Sony can afford to keep workers on instead of joining the wave of layoffs caused by other bosses. Um, and this is what we get. This is what we get. And it's probably not what you expected to hear from someone like I said who is a Naughty Dog fan. Been a PlayStation gamer most of my life. Um, but like I said, I love Naughty Dog games, but it ultimately doesn't matter what they make next. I just want the workers to be treated fairly, and I want them to take all this money and focus they get from Sony and just lay new ground and keep making these big games that pushes the medium forward and pushes the AAA space forward. Stop being lazy, okay? All right. Some fucking like little roguelike mode is not enough, among other things, for this to be worthwhile. Okay. Like they already released a 60 FPS patch. And I know there's like the $10 upgrade or whatnot, but what else can happen, man? I thought the part Last of Us remaking the first game was stupid after they remastered for the PS4 and which was accessibly available on the PS5. I thought that was stupid. This is like even fucking more dumb. And I don't really know what they could do, I don't know if they're adding developers commentary, which could be kind of cool because The Last of Us has hardcore fans and, that'd be awesome. But I still don't understand why this is happening, and I just wanted to touch some light on it because with the amount of money this IP is generating and the fact that production on the multiplayer game is getting iced and there's still layoffs happening at Naughty Dog, this doesn't sit right with me, and that's one part of the argument that aspect doesn't sit right with me, and then just remaking a game that just literally came out like X amount of years ago already has a 60 FPS patch, already looks technically phenomenal. You know what I mean? I just it's just not the behavior you expect from someone with the caliber of Naughty Dog. I just wanted to touch some light on it. But hey, maybe there's some of you listeners who are excited for it and be like, oh, this guy's just a fucking hater. Well, all power to you. But I quite frankly not give a shit. Um, and whenever the PC port does come out, I hope it does well because then at least that way both games will be on PC and hopefully playable, right? Hopefully playable. Um, but yeah, even with the upgrade package, $10 or whatever it is, I don't see much going on here. I don't think I'm going to touch it. maybe if the roguelike mode is that groundbreaking, sure. But if they thought they were too ambitious with their multiplayer project and they needed to wind it down, I think it would have been perfect for that moment to be now. Like, hey, the multiplayer is gonna be coming with this Last of Us Part Two remake, remaster, whatever you want to call it. It's gonna be a $10 upgrade. You get the game, whatever, and all its new shiny works with the roguelike mode and the multiplayer. That would have made a lot more sense to me, but that's not happening. So for now, fuck you, Naughty Dog, and fuck you, Neil Cuckman. I know that's not his name, but it's an insider joke for all the homies that be listening. Anyways, for this week's, have you played this? Um, we're talking about pivoting back to talking about GTA 6 and open world games. I'm gonna talk about Scarface. The world is yours, and you're probably gonna be sitting there thinking Scarface. Yes, the Scarface, the Tony Montana, uh, was a game released in 2006 by Radical Entertainment. If you're wondering who Radical Entertainment is, they've done many, many games in their lifetime. Um, their most recent, which was back in 2012, was Prototype 2, so they did Prototype 1 as well. They made Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, which is also another phenomenal game of the PS2 era. The universally loved Simpsons Hit and Run, among other titles. So yeah, they're responsible for Scarface: The World Is Yours, and you're probably wondering, hey Prince, how's this game a hidden gem? Scarface is a big IP and whatnot, and let me tell you, it just never gets brought up. And it was a fun little game, man. It's not a direct adaptation of the film, um, but it's like kind of a sequel. They changed the ending of the film, so spoilers. And if you get mad at me, the movie came out in 1983, and if you haven't seen it yet, well, But yeah, changed the ending of the film so that Tony Montana survives. And it's about exacting revenge on those who, try to oust him from power as he reestablishes his street drug empire in Miami. Um, but yeah, the game was good. Al Pacino's likeness to the character Montana's there. And he does unfortunately not voice the character, but obviously a lot of time between 2006 and 1983, his voice and whatnot. But he still did a good job. And in that era, I played a lot of these open world sandbox games. Like I said, the Vice Cities and the San Andreas kind of reminded me of that. It also maintained the tone of the film very well. The humor's there. The depiction of Montana himself was good. And looking up right now, it did actually end up selling 2 million units, which is pretty good. But for some reason, it still not gets brought up. So I just wanted to mention, if you do like open world games, make sure you check it out if you have a PS2 or Xbox, or if you know how to play them. That's all I'm gonna say. It does say it's on a Windows release too, so maybe it's possible to get it somewhere. I'm looking more into that. Um, yeah, there's a lot to do in here. Like I said, open world, third person. Just you destroy rival gangs. You trying to restore your reputation. The combat itself is very much similar to GTA. You can drive cars, drive boats, move around the map on the foot, interact with civilians and NPCs. You have main missions, side quests, pistols, SMG, shotguns, sniper rifles, RPGs, chainsaws, machetes, pipes, etc. But unlike GTA, you cannot kill innocent people. If I remember, uh, Tony refuses to do it or whatnot, and they only get injured. So, but this makes sense because if you know Tony Montana, he refused to kill innocent men, women, and children. So, like I said, still staying true to that likeliness of the character. As the game progresses, you acquire some of, regain some of Tony's employees, helps him rebuild his empire. You can get a pulp pilot who helps you smuggle cocaine, arm dealer who gives you discounts on weapons, an enforcer to protect Tony's businesses, and a hitman who you can hire to eliminate other bigger racketeer bosses and whatnot. Um, and then you can also play as them. You can switch controls from, you can switch perspectives from Tony to one of them. Um, and then this is the loophole in the game. When you play as the hitman or enforcer, this is when you can kill innocent people. So yeah, it's very cool. Like I said, the shooting, you can lock out of different specific body parts to different reactions. This affects it differently. There's a blind rage mode available, where the game switches to first person and goes slow motion, and all the aiming becomes automatic. Think of Soldier 76, akin from Overwatch, sort of deal. So that's pretty cool. You can also acquire balls by taunting defeated opponents, tilting drivers to fit his car. You can do straight races, completing missions, having conversations. So balls is kind of like your what fills the blind. Well, is the meter. The balls meter is what it needs to be filled to unlock that blind range. So kind of cool. 4 districts in the game: Little Havana, Downtown, South Beach, North Beach. That are all map available just from the get go. Um, and yeah, there's like I said, there's many things you can do. You know what I mean? You can purchase fronts, you can eliminate rival big gangsters, you can carry out small missions involving purchasing and selling cocaine. You can sell businesses. You can, your fronts get attacked from rival gang. That's where enforcer comes into play. You can install security cameras. You can do all sort of this stuff. And reputation plays a big part of the gameplay. You know what I mean? And then as your reputation increases, you get more and more fronts, more and more side missions, different exotics you can use to decorate his mansion, um, stuff like that. Um, like I said, cocaine's a big involvement in the game, and yeah, there's also dirty money, that which you have to clean. So let's say if a player just dies, arrested, or shaken down by another gang, you lose all your dirty money. Think of this as like cash, kind of. So to protect it, like I said, you make sure you don't die, and then you can launder it in a bank. Um, you can launder your money at any bank at any time. But a bank will take a cut of the total. The percentage of their cut is determined by the level of cop heat Tony has. And then there's cop heat and gang heat. That all kind of plays in. So, anyways, that's kind of just some of the gameplay things I wanted to specify because it was pretty cool for the time for what they were able to pull off. But yeah, if you have not played it, make sure to check out Scarface: The World Is Yours. I'm quickly gonna check. Talked about a couple things. Obviously, this episode, GTA 6. Very excited for that. The state of Naughty Dog on its current PS5 run, not good. And then on this week's Have You Played This? Scarface: The World Is Yours. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at GillyPG, Twitch GillyPG, Instagram GillyPG, YouTube GillyPG. As for the podcast, Digital Down Pod on Twitter, and then Digital Downtime on YouTube as well. Thank you for wherever you're listening, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube, available on all three. And if there's any comments or concerns, or if you're reaching out for any sponsorship opportunities, want to be a guest or whatnot, Digital Downtime Podcast at gmail.com. Digital Downtime Podcast at gmail.com. And yeah, this episode will be recorded before the Game Awards happens, just as a disclaimer. So the next episode we'll be talking about all the winners at the Game Awards and all whatever reveals or announcements there might be as well. So stay tuned for that. Thank you as always. I appreciate your time. And here's to GTA 6 2025.